I'm so sorry about that, by the
two,
way. Oh, you
one.
started recording.
No, yeah, I started recording.
What did you say about butts?
Yeah, let's talk about butts. This is
Let's talk. Let's talk about
this is
booty
kind of
sweat.
a late news week, guys. So
Yeah. Kind of a light load. Warmind just came out.
yeah,
And, we're taking it easy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you guys even had a chance to play?
Yeah.
I
Dabbled.
think I've seen like some stuff, but
Yeah, I don't even know if I think Destiny's a dead game.
yeah.
I don't think there's 24,000 people watching Gathalion raid,
Mm-hmm.
or anything.
No, everyone should play Fortnite, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny, this is the last straw. They made all the loot so hard to get in Warmind.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't even have any new guns yet.
It needs to be easy with stuff to chase, but easy
Yeah.
when they give me everything.
We only want to chase it for a short period of time, guys. If you have to chase it kind of hard, no, we're done.
Yeah.
So, I didn't put up an outline or anything for this week. We're just gonna kind of talk about, our experience and what we thought of the expansion. I say we just start with the story, I guess. What did you guys think of the story?
It was a Bungie story.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very Bungie-esque.
Uh-huh.
I'm not displeased by the quality of the story because I have been conditioned to go through Destiny stories.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy the story missions themselves.
They were fun.
I thought they were really fun, and I really liked that there were things within the missions that you can pick up and interact with, and things that are going to kind of tie into the extra quests coming later. So I would say I'm overall pleased.
I thought that, from a lore perspective, there was a lot of, cool stuff. I think that we're all pissed off at the same thing.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. You kill a worm god in 2 minutes with a crazy glowing javelin.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this could have been huge. But it was a really easy story mission, which is fun.
So
But it was good.
yeah. All right, so you guys put a pretty positive spin on it. Let me go ahead and make this a little worse. Have you played the Strikes, Huffy? The new ones?
Are they the last two missions of this story?
It's literally the last mission of the story and the Nokris fight. Those are the two strikes that they added to the game. They're the exact same missions.
They did that in Curse.
Yeah, but
Saving time, guys.
oh my god.
Yeah, whatever. So, I could have gone for a much longer segment of story if two of the missions were going to be repurposed to Strike. I feel like Curse was longer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Curse of Osiris story actually more time, even if it was just orbit time. But I was waiting to go to a different planet.
I can say one positive thing about this campaign. The dialogue was a lot more palatable than Curse of Osiris. Curse of Osiris, there was so many cringy moments where give me back my ghost. You're like, oh, that just, I don't know if I can handle that. But this was good. They weren't trying to crack jokes every 4 seconds. In Curse of Osiris, every character in the game tried to be Cade all of a sudden. It was oh, we're all Cade 6 now. Everybody loves Cade 6. We're all going to be Cade 6. It's going to be funny. No, it was not funny.
Out, see if it would work.
Yeah. But so it's a short campaign. If you really take your time through it, it'll take 2 hours. If you really take your time, you could probably speed run it in 30 minutes if you really wanted to.
It's very aesthetic.
Yeah.
It is an incredibly aesthetic campaign. It looks beautiful. You're fighting Nokris, and you're like, whoa, you're fighting the Worm God. You're like, whoa, everything before that, you're like, wow, these Ice Thrall are super cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy to mess up an iced theme anything because it's easy to make it bland and just an abyss. Everything looks amazing. The planet actually feels like a planet. So Mercury felt like a small plot of. It felt like I was playing Farmville, and I had like the beginner farm
with no
Right.
with no
Unlocked
sparrow.
your extra plots
With
yet.
no sparrow.
Yeah, with no sparrow. Like it was so small that they wouldn't let you have a sparrow because they wanted to make it seem bigger. This is a good expansion size planet. Like I'm super happy with the planet and everything they put in it. There's tons of shit on Mars.
There's actually things to explore.
Yeah, there's literally like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of just explorable content that is not missions. Like hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm super happy with that. Another thing I'll say about the story is I don't know, it was short and like the story wasn't like captivating me, but the moments felt cinematic, and I was kind of just like, I can actually pay attention to this without just having to completely tune it out, So it was better than Curse. I'll definitely give it that. As far as like a storytelling perspective, that's a low bar to meet. I'm not gonna lie, but it.
I mean, I liked from an aesthetic perspective. I liked it more than the Destiny main campaign.
Yeah,
I thought
the
it was
skyboxes were so beautiful. Just like
Yeah.
when you come out and like look around, you're like, holy crap, like I say it like every time new content comes out, but the art team for Bungie is 10 out of 10, unrivaled for sure. So, other than that, we have some grind in the game now, guys.
Yeah.
It's nice. It really is nice. Like, after you finish the campaign, you don't feel like, hey, I'm almost max light already, and there's nothing left to do. There's a bunch of exotics. There's hidden exotics. There's Escalation Protocol. There's a bunch of cool new legendary weapons, and there's things to explore and collectibles to find on Mars, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I haven't done most of it. I got the sleeper hand cannon or whatever, or the Icolos hand cannon. That's it.
That is like pre-sleeper.
Yep.
It's like for the quest. You have to get real friendly with the hand cannon to get the sleeper.
Yeah, I'm most of the way through that quest. I think I just have to do the isolation protocol to get the sleeper, which will be nice. Have you seen what the sleeper does now, Huffy?
No.
So they changed
it's the same, right?
No.
Nope.
They changed it. It's freaking crazy. I was playing with a couple people who had it last night, and so now instead of it being just a direct shot that ricochets a couple times, the first time you ricochet it, so you're going to want to aim it at the ground to bounce it at something, and when you ricochet it off the ground, it splits into 5 shots and does 5x damage, basically, if you can hit them with all of the ricochet shots.
Oh.
Super lit.
So can you imagine if you can actually get the angle right from a plate on the Callus fight with 6 sleepers and just hit him with 5x damage over and over again with 6 people? It's going to melt him. It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
But it's kind of awesome.
It's awesome, and it's not that easy to pull off, to be honest.
Yeah.
The like angulation
and
of
the
that.
quest is long and hard and like doesn't feel like a slog.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a bunch of people who have it, so obviously you can get it within a week. It's not time gated or anything like that. But yeah.
I'd like to talk for a second about time gating. One of my main concerns with this expansion was that our power level, like us like grinding to max level, was going to feel time gated because it was so dependent on milestones. Turned out to not be the case. There's like enough progression, like and enough activities, enough hidden exotics and whatever that you can get that people are already at 375, at 378.
Let's talk about that, because I think you might have a misconception about how they're doing that.
Okay, how are they? They're not making new characters.
No, they're not making new characters.
So it's better than last time.
No, I mean, so basically, I went into Riot's channel because he was the highest person I saw streaming. He was like 378, which I was like, how the that doesn't even make sense. They said this would take a month at like the quickest. But so when I went in there and asked him about it, he said there's a couple exploits that I'm going to report over to Bungie. Basically, he held on to like a lot of materials, like something he said about treasure keys, which I don't even know what he's talking about. And he said he held on to them from a long time ago and was able to use them to level up, basically. And so it's not really possible. It's not really possible if you're like just coming into the game to do that.
Goth did it, and I know for a fact that he has not been saving up keys. Because he has not been playing Destiny.
What level?
And he's 372.
372.
Well, I know that the raids will continually drop more and more of the higher level stuff. So
you can only do 3 raids though, other than Spire Stars now. But you could do normal, prestige, and Eater of Worlds, and that's the extent of your.
That's true.
But
across 3 characters and with all of the powerful rewards,
that's where you can make a big difference. Because
I'm not that surprised about it.
When you get to your second character, you can transfer your weapons over, which makes a big difference in being able to boost up like that, which is interesting. But the other thing that like kind of makes a big difference, if you guys are wondering on how to level up, basically when you do each milestone, what you're going to want to do is do the milestone and then take a break from your milestones and just go turn in tokens or do whatever. And basically, if your light level has moved up at least 1, you can level every other armor piece up with blues and stuff like that in between milestones. And that's how you can be most efficient. So that's like another piece of the puzzle on how to do it. But it's really tedious, and I haven't cared enough to actually do that. I've just been blasting through it. I'm like, I know I'm gonna get to max level eventually. I don't really need to be like on the grind for getting to 370 something this week. I'm gonna run out of stuff to do by the end of the month anyway. I don't need to rush it.
I have to wait.
But I'm at sorry, my allergies are terrible, and I can't close my windows because I don't have an air conditioning unit, so I'm like sweating my balls off.
How are you gonna stream this summer, dude? You gotta get an air conditioning unit.
I know. I have one downstairs. I just bought one.
Okay.
I ordered it off Walmart.com, and they used the same picture for all of like the LG window units. So like I went up in BTUs and didn't notice that it was bigger because it used the same picture. And so there's this like
it's bigger than your window, you mean?
It's like twice as big as my window.
So it doesn't fit. You have to return it, you're saying?
Yeah, so I have to go like another 2 weeks without air conditioner, like just sweating my balls off.
Be careful about, and I know we're getting a little off topic now, but be careful about too much power consumption too, because you'll trip your circuit if you're like trying to game on your PC and like run an air conditioner that's like a industrial size or something like that on the same circuit.
I mean, my window AC and my power brick for the computer are going to be in the same
circuit.
But I have one of the fancy New York, like, you know that you're going to plug an air conditioner into this.
Okay.
You know what, like the circular ones that are like elevated and have like.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You know what I mean?
All right. Well, we won't spend too much time on that, but.
But I'm really hot, y'all, and sweaty, and I get no break because every night I come home and then I sweat in my bed. It's sad.
So talk about PC and how you're feeling about mouse and keyboard ever since.
Let me further open this window.
Okay.
So yeah, I decided that with the new expansion coming, and I don't know, I felt like I kind of came to like the pinnacle of my trials. Now it's like really bright. Okay, so I decided that I wasn't getting any better at console because everybody on console sucks.
Fair point.
So I realized that like everyone that was top tier was playing on PC, and then there's like a unique opportunity on PC to get really good because the community is very small.
Yeah.
Right. So you're always playing against good players, and the skill ceiling is much higher. So I made the switch to PC full time.
Can we get some hype for that?
Hype.
Yeah. So when I'm playing, I'm gonna be always on PC, and I won't be able to say like if I was on Xbox right now, I'd probably be like racing to like highest glory rank or whatever, and I could make my stream titles like 1 bajillion glory.
Yeah.
And it would be dumb. Because and it wouldn't matter because everybody on console sucks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's gonna take me a while to get established on PC, but I'm excited about it. It's a better experience.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. I'm super excited about it. So I guess that's like probably a good segue to talk about PvP, unless you guys have anything else to talk about with like the PvE side of things on Warmind.
The raid layer is really cool. The new raid layer.
So I haven't looked at it yet, but I was surprised, and I was talking about this a little bit before you came in, Huffy. The raid layer is 370. I'm actually really surprised that they made it that high with them being like, oh, it's gonna take a month to get to max level and all this stuff.
Right.
So I like it. I like that they're like, you know what, just level up or be under leveled and deal with a punishing experience.
Yeah, it's like I'm glad that they made it the world's first thing really required like a lot of preparation. Like if you wanted to be part of it, like you had to be in like the top tier of like PvE tryhards. Like 370 is punishing, so I'm into it.
Well, they probably wanted to make it a little bit higher too. That way they can encourage a little bit more of the casual player to continue to grind. If they would have just dropped it at a lower light, they could have played for 2 weeks and then ran the raid with their buds and just been done. But by releasing it and doing the higher light, they can see all of the super high tier guys doing it and getting the loot, and they're like, oh, I have to keep grinding so I can do it too. So it probably adds a little bit more longevity to the expansion by making it a little bit higher.
Yep.
Guys,
I was honestly surprised by the final boss, which I guess we won't talk about.
So has somebody finished the raid then? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was world's first? Do you know?
Oh yeah, who got it?
Let's check the Bungie Twitter. We have the computers on this podcast, by the way.
Hey guys. So I just realized something. We started on a ramble opening. It was kind of funny, but
about poop.
But completely lapsed my mind to introduce our guest. We have OHLinny on the podcast this week, if you guys don't know.
Hey!
So this random person who's been talking this whole time.
You guys don't need to do that. They're good.
If you want to just talk about yourself for a second and say kind of like who you are, what you stream, that kind of stuff.
Well, I am OHLinny or OHLinny, which that's technically what it comes out to most of the time. I mostly stream Destiny 2, but every once in a while I stream Monster Hunter, and we'll probably get into a couple other things later, but right now they kind of consume my life. I play a little bit of everything. I play PvE and PvP, but not very well, so come for the bad jokes and to call me out on my bullshit, and that's about it.
The derps are worth it.
Well, sometimes they're really bad. Sometimes you're gonna shoot your head. So it's all right.
Kinran would like to know when EXO got blue hair. So.
Oh my god.
I've gone through some life changes, guys. I changed the name. And
after changing the name, you had to completely.
After the HK, I just realized that. And I have some other changes to announce later besides the blue hair. You guys are gonna be so surprised. TBD, guys.
Yeah, I decided to rebrand again. This time as a woman.
Basically, way to let the cat out of the bag there, Hubbard.
Oh my god.
So who got world's first? Did you find it?
I don't see. I just checked everyone's account. Nobody. I guess the official world's first was not decided because nobody that I follow.
Well, interesting tidbit. The Wardcliff glitch is patched, so people weren't able to use that during the raid, guys. And they didn't tell anyone they were fixing that, but they surprise fixed it. So.
And Titan Skate, there were no long stretches, so Titan skating was not a factor.
I wouldn't have thought it would be. The whole like time-consuming piece is like, hey, let's figure out how to do this, not like how long does it take to run from point A to point B. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, there could have been, like in like the second piece of the raid layer, right? Like imagine if somebody like just Titan skated across like all of that stretch and didn't have to do like the second puzzle. Like that would have made a big difference. But there weren't any like, the puzzles were very vertical. So.
All right. Well, so we don't know who got world's first yet, but apparently people have already finished it, which is pretty cool. It's I'm assuming another short one since it's a raid layer. Some people seem to be disappointed.
2 puzzles and a boss.
Some people seem to be disappointed it was a raid layer. It's like, this was announced so long ago. We knew this was the plan. You had to know already.
From the launch of Destiny.
Right. You could see, if you look at the Leviathan, you can see the spot for it already, long before this raid came out. So I'm happy with it. This is more raid content than we've ever gotten in a year. 1 raid and 2 raid layers. And if they can keep that cadence going every year, we'll be in good shape, honestly, as far as raid content.
I agree.
The only question I'm going to have is, like, once you're max light, is there going to be any reason to actually do this raid? What do you guys think?
I mean, it depends on the gear.
That's what I'm asking. Do you think the gear is going to be worthwhile? Obviously, I haven't seen any spoilers or...
Yeah, we don't know yet. We gotta... I mean, I guess we'll find out, later today once, the pictures start coming up.
I'm going to take a guess and say no. I'm going to say it's going to be similar.
Well, you're such a pessimist.
Negative Nancy.
I'm just being real about it. I really think it's going to be similar to the other 2 raids in the sense that they're going to have a basically cosmetic set of gear that does the exact same thing as the other raids.
I think they did a better job with this. With the first raid layer and like giving it perks that for the hardcore raider made the experience like much easier,
Like what?
Like the perks that give you like more damage with
those
yeah.
But so my point was those same perks apply to the Eater of Worlds armor or the Leviathan armor, and you can use it on any of the raid layers. It all applies. So if you already have a full set of, say, prestige armor with with those perks in it, there's no reason to get this armor set except for cosmetics.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
I would like to think that they would. I mean, with all the different upgrades that they've done, with all the reworkings for the exotics, you'd have to think that they would have thought about that. And they are going to absolutely slow the progress in which you can get those, just because they did announce that they're starting to do like the maximum amount of loot that you can get per raid. I feel like they announced that in the patch notes, where you can only get like 1 big reward per week on each character. So they are going to slow your ability to gain the equipment, so it's going to take longer. So they're kind of trying to increase replayability, at least over a longer period of time with that. But I don't know. I'm hopeful, guys. I'd like to see a couple new... I mean, even if they're similar, even if they just do kind of different things, it would be really ideal if they can add a couple new things to the raid, or if they would do things that would help you outside of the raid. That would give a lot more people who don't raid regularly to get in there and get it and use it for other things.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm hopeful for, really, is that there's a couple weapons worth chasing. I really don't think that the armor is going to be anything different, honestly. Because I'm just thinking about how could they even reimagine it. Since it's a raid layer, like, they would kind of have to redo the other loot pools, to make it unique to each raid experience instead of being universal. But I think it'll be the weapons, if anything.
I mean, ultimately, like for me, like I'm, like my goal, like there's nothing that's going to come from the raid. Like I just want to look as badass as possible while I shit on people in the Crucible.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like another set of armor that I can like mix and match and like more shaders, like so that I look like badass while I poop on people in quick play. Like that's all I need, you know.
That's bullshit. You're never gonna farm a whole set of raid gear. You're so full of crap.
And then I will if it looks cool enough.
Okay.
And if it
out too.
Yeah. And if it doesn't look cool enough, then I will be happy that there is loot in the game that there's still to grind that I will never get. Like one of my favorite parts of Destiny 1 was that I didn't have any of the raid gear. And that there was like this, so the game was never finished, right? Like I was playing it every day and like I was like playing it like very religiously. But I there were like all of these armor sets that I didn't have.
I can't relate.
That.
Had them all.
Okay, well, yeah, but you know.
I hear what you're saying. I think that you know, I hope it looks cool too, basically. But I think honestly the weapons, like I was saying, is the best we can hope for. And I hate to be pessimistic, but like Eater Worlds only came with like a handful of weapons. It wasn't like a full weapon suite. So I mean,
to me, like I don't really care about the weapons because at the end of the day, like at the end of the day, like there are the exotic weapons which will take up one of my slots, and then my other slot will be taken up by a 150 or 140 archetype hand cannon. Because like that's like optimal. So unless there's like a great heavy weapon, like it won't affect me at all.
Guys, newsflash: Huffy doesn't care about the weapons in a looter shooter game.
Well, it doesn't affect the PvP experience a lot. I mean,
but don't you like? I know PvP is your focus, but don't you care about having like weapons that do cool things in PvE? Like I do. You don't care about that at all, like
because when I'm in PvP.
Yeah. Have you like Borderlands? There's no PvP in that at all. Like it.
Yeah, but like when I'm playing PvP in Destiny, like I'm using non-optimal loadouts. Like I'm using PvP loadouts, and I'm just like practicing my gun skill, you know, and I'm practicing my weapon swapping. It's just like I'm not like I will never like have like an optimized PvE loadout.
It's always PvP, even when he's in PvE.
I don't know. And the other problem is like all these armor sets. I don't have room for them all anymore. I mean, I'm already carrying around like.
Well, most of them are ugly for the hunter, so you don't need them.
Yeah, but I have
the hunter set.
See, unlike you, I do have a set for like everything. Like I've got a set for the raid. I've got a set for regular PvE. I've got a set for PvP, and then I've got because like what else am I supposed to do? You know.
You need one set on it with 944. And a random legendary mod to fit your last slot, and then you just use it.
I've got all those raid perks and stuff like that on the raid armor. Like I don't know.
Well, then you need two sets.
And then for regular PvE, what about that?
What do you need for regular PvE?
I've got recuv builds. For
regular PvE, you just put on a sunshot. Like, that's how you go.
I don't know.
Life hack right there.
To PvE is you just put on a sunshot.
Okay, well let's talk about PvP.
Hey, listen, you don't need a recuv build anymore because the worm husk crown is the most OP.
I have to disagree with you there because I was playing private matches all last night, and what I didn't realize is that worm husk crown, and if you guys don't know what this is, you get
does not apply if you're being shot.
Spoiler alert. You get this worm husk thing at the end of the campaign. If you're a hunter, you get one for each class, and if you dodge, it starts your health regeneration and gives you a little chunk of health. But what I didn't realize, Huffy, is that it is affected by the recovery stat. So I was playing private matches last night with Dudley. I was running like 5 recov, and he was running 8, which is the max you can get as a hunter. And literally, like, I was using it where I dodge behind cover so that like they can't shoot me, so my health would actually go up. But he was literally rolling right in front of me, and before I can shoot the next shot of my hand cannon, he is completely back to full health, like out of cover. It's fucking ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it's gross.
So it is affected by recovery, which just is another FU to the mobility builds. I don't know why they hate us so much. Make mobility affect sprint speed, goddammit.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, unfortunately, the hunter meta is like literally going to be built around how can you make the Wormhusk crown the most effective. It's the best PvP exotic game, like hands down. So
such a bummer.
At least it'll only be 6 months before they patch it, you know.
It's such a bummer that there's one thing that's that good.
Well, it's a bummer too that to make the hunter class stronger, they have to buff another stat that isn't really synonymous with the hunter abilities.
Yeah.
So you can't do something to really make the mobility shine. It has to be something based around recovery. That seems kind of unfortunate and a little bit unbalanced.
It's silly.
Well,
it's silly. They could have buffed the hunter by giving us blink.
Counterpoint to that. Like, I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I think that that's a really good point. But, you know, Warlocks have Devour, and then Titans have that really, really annoying Syntheseps that just, like, every time I'm, like, running into a Titan and meleeing them, they're like, well, first of all, you know, you're going to die in 2 melees for whatever reason. And second of all, I'm getting an overshield to go take out your whole team after I kill you. You know, it's like, okay.
I mean, that's a very Titan-y thing to do.
Yeah.
And then, like, our exotic is, like, recov based. Like, no, give us a mobility exotic. Instead, they gave us this recov exotic, and then they gave us a chest piece that gives you 2 throwing knives.
What a joke! What a joke!
Will never, ever, ever use that chest piece.
Yeah, I mean, throwing knives are awful. I really don't understand. So, a week or 2 ago, Huffy was like, oh yeah, there's this new chess piece that's been data mined. It's called the Ophidia something, and it's going to be literally the same thing as the Warlock Ophidian aspects.
That's what it seems like.
We're going to get quick draw.
Yeah,
we're going to be
able to... That would be
to,
incredible.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. That makes perfect sense. And then we find out it gives you a second throwing knife. Are you kidding me? First of all, Bungie, throwing knives are so bad on mouse and keyboard, it's not even funny. I can't even hit a thrall with the stupid throwing knife. Like, it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, with no aim assist, the thing is unusable completely.
They should just put aim assist on the throwing knives.
Yeah.
So, really quick, I'm gonna just like go super spoiler mode for a second.
Okay.
So here's super spoiler mode. There's a raid layer emote.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm listening.
This thing is so cool.
Alright, I can't wait to see it. Whoa! Holy crap!
Dude, that's so good.
Wow, right? That's awesome.
Like, that's incredible.
And that'll only use up 1 of your 4 slots.
Right?
All right, guys, we can do the raid layer now.
We can do the raid. Right? It's worth grinding. Confirmed. So, you guys want to talk about PvP?
They went in on the emotes. Even legendary emotes now, like, a lot of them have, like, holographics.
Oh, really?
Or, like, whatever you call those, like, lights.
Little neon dudes?
Yeah.
That's the technical name for them, guys.
Neon dude. Yeah. Neon. Wait 1 second. Exclamation point. And neon dude.
Mm-hmm. He's he's gonna screen share whatever he found.
Nice.
Oh, you changed the title. Sweet. Perfect.
Excellent
Perfect. Excellent.
There we go.
I thought you were just like Google image searching that. I was like, I'm a little worried what you might find.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
So PvP. What has your guys' experience been so far?
My experience has been I'm now a mouse and keyboard, and I am incredibly average.
Okay.
Which is very
frustrating, I imagine.
Yeah, it's like very frustrating for me to like walk into a game and like not be able to carry.
Okay.
Yeah, so it sucks because like I think like in my head like I know exactly what needs to be done, and then I just like shit all over the keys.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I know like when you're first learning it, it's like it's hard to like execute everything you're thinking about, but there's this feeling like when I was on controller, even after 3 years of using it and being like proficient, I just feel like you're really bottlenecked in the number of tasks you can perform, even with paddles, unless you use 4 paddles, I guess. If you use 4 paddles, yeah. I always use 2. 4 was just, I don't know, like I didn't want like too many fingers back there doing stuff, but anyway, so I had 2 paddles. I had 1 for jump and 1 for slide. But it made it impossible to do certain things all at once, like being able to like pick up a res, strafe around, aim at the same time, jump, whatever. You can't do all that stuff at the same time. It's just
You can.
Well, with 4 paddles.
Yeah. I mean, I have this like super fucked up controller setup that lets you do everything, but it took me like a year to get used to.
Right, exactly. But now on a keyboard, there's so many buttons, and they're all within reach of your fingers.
Yeah.
I can literally like dodge roll over a heavy brick while picking it up at the same time, come out of it, switch to my heavy weapon, immediately aim in at whatever I'm looking at. It's like not an issue. You know, like I never feel like my brain is trying to do something that is not possible in the game on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the hard part about it for me is like regaining cover like without using shade step. Like it's very easy for me like on controller to like, it's in my muscle memory, like I know how to like slide into a lane and like shoot someone and then like immediately like be sliding into a different cover. Right? But like there's a lot of muscle memory on mouse and keyboard that's like new, that goes into like say you're on what's that map, Endless Vale, to like slide into mid, like take 2 shots and then like immediately like slide into that cubby, right? Like actions like that like require like slide out, like acquire target, like acquire like wall, like slide in, like shoot
and
wall,
use your mouse during the roll to like adjust it on a curve, you know?
Yeah, stuff like that is not happening. That and like close encounters, like, which is like, I mean, I run sub hand cannon, you know, so like short distance encounters are like harder on keyboard and mouse. So like learning how to like submachine gun in a close distance is weird.
Yeah, and submachine guns on mouse and keyboard in general, you really want to just hip fire them, pretty much.
Yeah.
Not ADS, because it just slows you down too much, and you're.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it is a different experience, but I think you'll find after getting used to it, like, holy crap, this like has opened up so many new avenues.
Yeah, for sure. But as far as like ranked goes, like I've played a little ranked, and it's every game feels like hard.
Yeah.
And I love that. Yeah, I love everything about it. I know that a lot of people will be frustrated by the experience. I love getting shit on. It's my favorite thing. I because every time that I get messed up, like I look at it as like an opportunity to learn, and I love it. So I love that there's quick play for hanging out, And I love that ranked is a slog, and I love that you're constantly playing people that are way better than you. And I love that it feels terrible. It's great for me. I think that that's exactly what they should have done, and I couldn't be more happy with that.
And quick play is something to grind too, because
and you're rewarded now for grinding quick play. It's not like it doesn't feel like now both playlists feel like starkly different.
Right.
Like competitive feels like holy crap, like this sucks, and then quick play is like let's have a great time. Like there's a huge difference between the SBMM in the two now, and I'm happy with that. I'm excited to see what happens when they finally get the fire team size matchmaking implemented and working correctly, which they had to disable.
They disabled it, and then they said they re-enabled it partially, not in whatever capacity they wanted it to be. Quick side note before, and then we'll get Linny's thoughts on PvP, but Trials of the Nine was in the TWAB, guys, and it's worse than we thought because there's no new ornaments.
There's a ship?
Yeah, and a sparrow, and a ghost. And what's up with these weapons? We already have these weapons, don't we? Like they show the picture of these weapons. Isn't that the adjudicator and the scout and the shotgun?
So, is there no new weapons and no new armor?
That's what it looks like. I mean, and the worst part about it is they're like, hey,
okay, so those are new weapons. Those are new weapons.
Are you sure about that?
Yes,
like that looks exactly like the adjudicator.
Yeah, it looks similar to the adjudicator. It's not. That is going to be a different. It's not going to be 900. I promise you that is 6, or maybe it's 9, but it's going to have different perks. Those are new weapons.
So we'll see 3 new weapons then.
At least.
I'm gonna say 3 new weapons. If
there's at least 3 new weapons.
It's awesome because they tell you on there, you should go play in the ranked playlist.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Just go play ranked.
Funneling trials players into the ranked playlist so they can keep a higher population on there.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the reasons that I decided to move to PC because I knew trials was dying.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's no the trials carry culture is like on the way out.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to do it. If you're not streaming Destiny like for entertainment, like if you're doing like the service stream thing with trials, like there's like less and less reason to do trials every single time it comes around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't think anybody's gonna be like, I really need this ghost, carry me, you know.
I mean, it is nice. Yeah, right. It is nice that there's now like some like a new like cool looking sparrow to chase. Just some trial stuff. We'll see how many new weapons there are, and we can make a final call. You know.
I'm glad to see that like the recov culture in ranked is not really going to be much of a thing. It's too much of a time investment for people to realistically be paying for that kind of a service.
It's already in full swing on Xbox.
How could it? I mean, like it's going to take.
I know it's expensive, but it's literally already happening.
How much are they charging? Because like think about this. If you want to get to the Claymore, the Claymore is going to take 30 hours plus.
Yeah, I know. I had 4 of my friends, like literally top tier players, were running triple recubs all day yesterday in ranked, and
for like $500 or something. It must be right.
For like an obscene amount of money.
Yeah, there's no way I can imagine committing 30 hours to somebody else's character for less than $500. I mean, if people are doing it for less than that, then they're just selling themselves to like slavery, pretty much. I mean,
very poor hourly wage.
People are making a lot of money off ranked already.
Man.
So, the recap culture is there. I promise.
I just can't imagine, like, number one, that people would want to spend money, like that much money on it, and number two, that people would want to commit that much time to something.
I imagine that most people are just doing it for the Claymore.
Yeah.
Probably.
I imagine that most people are just asking you to grind up to Claymore level, which is not a huge
It's like
commitment.
30 hours, though.
It's not like 30 hours. Like it's doable in 2 days.
It literally, the first people just got it yesterday.
The first people got it on the second day.
Yesterday.
Oh, was that the second day?
I don't know, the tweet came out from Bungie yesterday for like the first one or whatever.
Well, they put out they tweeted out a guy with the Claymore literally on the second day of the experience. Then they were like, we're not confirming that this is the first.
Yeah, that was yesterday. That's the exact tweet I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it didn't take long, you know.
I feel like that's pretty long, and those people were playing nonstop.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not here to like talk about the business model for I just know that it's happening and like it's sensible, like it makes sense, you know, whatever.
Makes sense, and dollars.
So Linny, tell us what you think about PvP, quick play, ranked, all that stuff.
I probably don't have a super great perspective on it because I'm terrible at PvP, especially.
Are you having fun?
But I think
I am having fun.
That perspective's important because that's like a lot of people. You're speaking for the masses here.
No matter what I do in PvP, I tend to have a good time. I usually don't play PvP by myself, so normally I play in a group setting, which makes it in one way a lot more fun, but also in another way, I play with people that are significantly better than me, so I tend to kind of just get smushed in most matches that I play. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's still enjoyable. I mean, I don't know if maybe it's just like a placebo effect, but I do feel like things feel a little bit smoother in PvP right now. Okay. I feel like either I'm getting a little teeny tiny bit better or things have been smoothed out a little bit more. I would like to think that's just me, but it could be, you know, the update. But I enjoy it all the time. I haven't had an opportunity to use a ton of the new exotics yet since I have only played PvP on PC where my character has just been mainly devoted to PvP. So I don't have access to a lot of the new cooler weapons on PvP on PC just yet. But I mean, I'm pleased with PvP all the time, guys. I was even okay with the Prometheus lens ordeal for the first couple of days. So I'm kind of easy to please when it comes to PvP.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, I mean, what did you think of like ranked versus quick play and the new progression systems there?
I like the progression system. I think that I will probably play a lot more in probably in the Valor, just because the ranked is, for somebody of my skill level, super duper hard. I'm probably not going to see a lot of progression with that. But for me as a player, that's not a huge deal. I imagine it can be a little discouraging for some of the more casual players that can't really make the time investment or who see a lot of loss streaks. There might be a bit of salt towards players who aren't really good that are technically throwing matches, which might be a little intense later. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited that it's new and there's reasons to continue to do it besides just the, you know, the call to arms milestone. And that there's more stuff involved. I think anytime they add any type of content, even if it's just on top of existing content, if they provide reasons to do it, I'm excited about it.
All right. So I am gonna go on a bit of a rant here. I really was enjoying ranked the first day, and I was like, oh, cool. This feels like I'm progressing towards something. I wonder like where I'm gonna plateau at, and then like have to like improve to keep getting better to see my rank go up. But the system doesn't work at all how I expected it to. What I was envisioning going in was a Halo 3 style system where you match people who are the same rank as you, and you keep moving up until you hit the skill you're supposed to be at, and then it's either get better or you're just going to be stuck at that rank forever. But instead, it's a win-based system that seems to match you with random people with no regard to the skill. So it doesn't really make any sense because
So matching doesn't happen based off your rank. It happens based off your, like, elo, which is different.
Which sucks.
Right? No, I mean,
that makes it impossible for me to get higher, right?
No, it doesn't make it impossible. Yeah. It makes it hard. It makes it hard.
It makes it harder for me than it would for somebody who's worse at the game, if that's the case.
don't know.
All right, so let me put it to you this way.
No, listen. There are
He doesn't want me to get to this point.
To match people that are grossly better than you. It's gonna happen
at a low rank, though. Okay, so listen to me for a second. Here.
Okay.
All right, I am still in the Guardian rank. I've been stuck there. I played for 6 hours, stuck in the Guardian rank.
Okay.
I literally am like 115, and I was matching people who are 1,700, 1,800, 1,900. Literally, I matched the team that was ranked number 1 on PC 3 times in a 6-hour period of time.
Yeah.
That's just making it impossible for me to rank up at all, and I'm not even close to the same rank as them. It's stupid.
Yeah. It's gonna happen on PC, dude. Like, it's gonna happen. The player population is like, it's small. Like, it's part of.
It's like, not that small, man. Like, literally, I've been looking at my friends list for the past couple days, and I've had 3 pages on constantly.
Yeah, and who's like the majority of them like are doing what everyone's doing right now, which is like trying to get their power level up and like being involved in the PvE experience. Like, even now, like the ranked play, like the amount of people in the ranked playlist is going to be kind of small, and it's going to be like that on PC for the entirety of this expansion, and that's just something you like deal with because you're on PC.
But so.
It's an opportunity, dude.
To me, the way that this should work, the way that this should work is that
it can't work like that.
It can. It was finding these matches so quick. They could wait longer to find a better match than that.
Yes, you could wait 15 minutes to find a match.
I would prefer that, honestly.
You are one of the few.
I do not want to be stomped by like people who are 3 times my skill level and make it impossible for me to rank up at all.
Dude, it's such an opportunity. So the rank is just a reflection, right? Like the real progression is like you as a person, and like PC gives you this like incredible opportunity to constantly play people that are better than you. And like review your gameplay
all right, so here's the other problem. Okay. If I was to beat them, and I had a couple close games against them, which is pretty crazy.
Heck yeah, that's super exciting.
But if I was to beat them, the win would count as the same as if I beat a bunch of people who literally have no thumbs.
Yeah.
Which is it should value that more, and if I lose against them, it should not count so harshly against me on a win streak and stuff like that.
I totally agree. That it should count for more if you beat like a huge team, and maybe they should take a steeper loss. But like in the long run, like if you're improving and like you get to the point where you're beating more of the teams that you're matching, like your rank will go up to reflect the fact that you've improved. I think it's a great opportunity. I just see it differently. I think it's great that if I were you, I'd be like super excited every time I match someone whose name.
I don't know. I just had a different feeling about it going in because I'm just taking people at random. I'm like, oh, I'm low level. You know, I can pretty much play with anybody right now because I'm going to play against other low level people. And that's not how it worked at all. Like, I'm going to go in and get stomped at a super low level against the best people in the world. That doesn't even make sense. I mean, did you ever play Halo 3 ranked? Did you play it? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how much bigger the player population could have possibly been that literally you always match somebody within 1 or 2 ranks of you on the 1 to 50 system. Always. Yeah. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for like 4 years, you know, and you could rank up to 50 that way.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the player population is this small that they're like, you know, actually for the 3rd time in a row, you're going to have to match the best people in the world, and it's going to put you on a losing streak that is just going to tank you and all the progress you've made tonight. It's
Dude, the rank doesn't matter. It's like you have the opportunity to play like the best people in the world 3 games in a row. Dude, that's incredible because like from the first game to the second game, you get to try something different, right? Like, and you get to like in real time learn like what works and what doesn't against the best players in the game.
But
like,
you're saying that like it's a new opportunity with ranked. I was already doing that in trials.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be surprising.
No, it should be surprising. It should be surprising because this was what ranked was supposed to introduce. It was supposed to say, now you're going to get to see where you actually fall in a skill level, not with some third-party website. Now you can see where you actually fall with Bungie's internal metrics and where they place you. But that doesn't seem to be the case at all. They said, we're resetting our internal data. They said this at the beginning of Season 3. We're resetting our internal data about your skill. And everybody's going to be in an even playing field, and then you'll rank up as and the chips will fall where they may. But what's the point of resetting it if you're going to ELO match me against other people?
Listen. I know you don't want to believe it, but I think it's, and I'm sorry. Wits just said it in chat. You have a 1 in 12 chance of matching with the best PC player. Like, I'm sorry, but the PC population in the Crucible is small, and you have a 1 in 12 chance of matching the best player. Like, I mean, but there are literally not that many people playing Crucible in North America, especially right now, not with the expansion just launching. Like, Crucible has always been what people fall to in like the downtime, right? Between expansions, it's what people grind out for fun. It's like the game that you play with all the gear, like with all the gear that you have and that you've gained, and you want to go in the Crucible with all the new stuff and try it out. And nobody is playing Crucible right now. Like, some people are playing ranked, right? But like right now it's the weekend and everyone's like grinding Escalation Protocol trying to get the new stuff, or they're like playing trials. And like, if you're trying to do ranked, I'm sorry, but especially on PC, there's like maybe 40 other people
I'd like to see
close to you.
I'd like to see actual numbers from Bungie on this.
I would too, but dude, it's small, and we just have to deal with that. Like, it's the reality.
I don't think it's as small as you think it is. I really don't. I don't think it's that bad. I know that PC population is smaller than PS4 or Xbox, but I think that there has been a big resurgence. If Friends List is any indicator of how many people are playing, I'm telling you, there's a lot more people playing than there was before this expansion.
I mean, check it right now and see how many people are playing ranked. Seriously, like compared to like playing Public Event on Mars, or playing Trials of the Nine, or like playing Campaign.
Well, it makes you kind of wonder too, guys, how much Bungie actually shares that intrinsic reward viewpoint. Because I mean, if we remember, towards the beginning of Destiny 2, one of the things that they really hit hard was, this is a friends game. This is a game for you to feel good about. There's not a ton of extra stuff because you're just going to feel so good and have so much fun playing this game. How much of that is now in the Crucible ranked match, where they want you to match against people that are higher ranked to kind of encourage that growth? How much are they looking at that to say, hey, there's learning in failure, so we want you to lose your shit 8 times before you could match someone else? Like, how hard are they going to really want you to work for that? And if they are going to factor that, how wide is that skill gap going to be? Are they going to, like, if you are like on the cusp of ranking up, are they going to make it harder to reach the next rank because they want you to kind of strive a little bit more or feel more difficulty? Like, if you're super close to your next rank, are they going to match you with like people that are, close to reaching the next rank to see if maybe, they're going to challenge you a little bit more? I wouldn't be too surprised by it. I would be slightly surprised because it's pretty technical for Bungie to implement. But at the same time, I would not be surprised by them doing that to add that extra layer of internal reward.
I think that the matchmaking system actually works in a simpler way than that. From what I've noticed, they try to push everybody, if they can, to a 50% win-loss ratio. If you're in like the top 1%, obviously that's impossible for them to do. So you do have people with 90+% win ratios, but for the majority of players, I think, they see, here's a couple wins in a row, let's match them against a harder team, basically is how it works. Because the majority of people have 50% win ratios. That I've heard devs say this before in interviews, that the matchmaking strives to push everybody for 50% because they want everybody to be like kind of happy. But the problem with that is if that is applied in ranked, people are going to be mad because they're not going to be able to progress in this system. It's going to be, hey, we made it a little bit up, and now we're going to start losing games, and you're going to be stuck in the first rank like forever, which is, I don't feel like that's how it's supposed to work.
I don't either, and I feel like they could and should make adjustments to the matchmaking going forward, and I think they will. I really do think they will. Like there are already matchmaking, like fire team matchmaking things that they're actively working on. But it's like the chances, like realistically, the chances of you like getting stuck at a rank and like not being able to progress until like you make a huge leap in like ability, like it's pretty likely, you know.
I wonder if they did that intentionally too, just to kind of slow people's ability to rank up. Because I mean, another one of our complaints is that we're running through content too fast and we're getting things too fast. Maybe they are doing that purposely to slow people's progress so that they will continue to play. Granted, it's going to create a lot of frustration for a lot of people, but it's going to create one complaint, but technically solve another one, in that we're not going to blow through all of these ranks super duper quickly.
Yeah. I think that it's going to be an incredibly frustrating experience. But I think that like if you're like realistic about the fact that like it's going to be hard and it's going to be a slog, and in order to really rank up in that experience, like in a ranked experience, like you need to be in the top 10% of players. Like you need to like be able to like, in order to like really ascend the ranks, you need to be able to beat like 90% of the people that you face. And like, is that like an ideal system? No, but that's like the system we're working with. Like that's the way it works. And I think if we're realistic about that, then you can just look at it as a way to grow.
I think it's great that you're positive about that and that you look at it as an opportunity. I think that unfortunately, if that's how it continues to work, no one is going to play it. If you have the vast majority of people can't even rank up once. I'm not saying everybody needs the Claymore. I'm an elitist when it comes to this game. I think there should be stuff people can't get. I agree. But if they can't even rank up once and feel like they're doing anything, they're just going to say, F this. And then we're going to have an even smaller population playing. You're going to be playing those guys, the top people in the world, every single game. And then it'll just be an even more frustrating experience, which is why I don't want to see it work this way.
Yeah.
I really think that, your first, like the Guardian rank should be pretty easy, with the exception of at the beginning of the season, obviously everyone's going to be starting there. So there's going to be some variability. You're going to match some good people because if you play right away, because everybody's starting at the same point. But, like 3 weeks from now, anybody who's in the Guardian rank should be probably like either new to the game or pretty bad at the game. And and you should be able to just push right out of that pretty quickly into the next rank. And that's how it should work, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that if ELO matchmaking was removed entirely and that they match made based on warrior rank, I think that would be ideal. I agree. But I know that that's not the way it is right now.
Yeah.
That's intentional or not, but like knowing that, like it's whatevs.
Well, I wonder if they're hoping to filter out some of the best players that are already reaching those higher ranks, like after they get the Claymore and they reach their top rank, if they just kind of expect them to migrate over to the Valor playlist and just kind of smush everybody over there, and that'll create a little less stacked population. But I don't know. It's hard to tell what they would do. I don't know if they would stay in
I don't think
rank.
they want that because they have a score decay mechanic in place.
Well, it's only 3 games a week.
Yeah. So, but you have to keep playing it regardless.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that if you don't do it, you have to. Oh, so they
Only,
do on
and
20s.
only that only applies, by the way, in Mythic and Legend ranks, which nobody is yet. But once people get up to those top tier ranks, they're gonna have to maintain them, and I'm sure that it's gonna matter to people. Like, I want to finish top 10 or top whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So they're gonna try and maintain their scores.
But I mean, you only have to maintain your score with 3 wins a week. You know, like it's not.
I don't even know if it's
bad.
wins. I think you just have to participate in 3 games, right?
Well, yeah, if you participate in 3 games and you come out even or positive, then you can stop. But if you play 3 games and you lose all 3, then you obviously have to play 3 more.
Yeah, because otherwise that's probably worse than the score decay. So
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I am excited on the one hand, but I'm really, really worried that, like, if this experience is going to be as bad for most people as I think it is, it's going to make it really hard to rank up. And also, I'm seeing some solo queues right now, which, if the system continues the way it is, I think will stop entirely. If it was actually rank based, I think people would feel comfortable going in solo queue. I know I was.
Yeah.
I tried a couple solo queue games and I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. You know, like I can win games like this because it's low rank people. And then when I realized like that's not how it worked, I'm like, it's just completely unviable unless you're going in with a stacked team that you're comfortable with. There's just no way to progress in this system. So
yeah, I agree.
It's really inconsistent.
Yeah, I think that you can casually play with like 2 friends. Mm-hmm. Like if you run in a team of 2 that you feel comfortable with, then you can go and play ranked and like maintain, but you won't grow.
Right.
I think in order to grow, you really need like a team of 4 with like 4 good people. And to be honest, I'm excited about that. I like the way it works. I love that it's painful. I'm sorry. I love that it's terrible.
You know me, guys, always sticking up for the casuals. So
there's quick play and there's trials, and there's the weekly playlist, and I hate to say that, but like there's quick plays and there's trials and there's the weekly playlist, and then there's ranked, which is this one like terribly difficult, like very competitive, sweaty experience, and I think the game needed that, and
it does need that, but it should be more than just 10 people to enjoy at the same time. So.
I mean, listen, if you want to go in to an experience with the goal of sweating your ass off and improving, ranked is for everyone. But if you want to just like hang out, ranked is not for you.
But be honest though, that's not going to be the experience the whole time. So now observe this from the other perspective. Yeah. You are part of a stacked team that is running with 4 very high skilled players with the intention of ranking up. You are going to have a wildly inconsistent experience. You are going to sometimes match people who are, close to you, and there'll be a couple close games. But on the other hand, there's going to be all these games where you have like 4 solo queuers against you, and like
it will happen
at the top tier. So that's the weird thing. When you're in the top tier, like, and now all of a sudden you're like competing for spots or whatever. You're like, I want to be top 100. Now you have this inconsistent experience contributing to it where it's like, well, I got lucky and boosted above this person because I happen to match 4 solo queuers who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, so that's going to happen. So first of all, with no radar, every game requires you to play cleaner. Mm-hmm. Like every game requires you to because with no radar, it is very easy for you to malposition and get wiped by a team you shouldn't. So every game is sweatier in that perspective. In addition, every game is more competitive in the sense that more people than ever are going in with teams because they realize that they have to, and more people are trying their butts off. Like nobody's going into ranked and just saying like, oh, I'm just gonna get pooped on. I'm just gonna run around and shoot things. Well, how many no scopes can I get? Like nobody's doing that. They're like, let's win this game, right? And so like it on every level, it's a more competitive experience for everyone. And even though it's not perfect, even though you're gonna match, like every once in a while, like a really good team is going to match like 4 solo queuers. It's happening way less. It's a more competitive experience all the time.
All right, well, I feel like I'm sucking up all the oxygen in the room on this topic.
No, I just feel like we have to agree to disagree, because I'm intensely positive about the fact that it's a slog, and
yeah. For you, I'm glad. I'm happy for you. But don't you do want to see?
And I'm sad for you. I see
Right.
where you're coming from.
Don't you want to see more people in the playlist though, right? Like you
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Okay.
I agree. We can agree that Elo matchmaking should be eliminated. Glory matchmaking would be nice.
Gotcha.
I don't think it's an optimal experience, but I think it's an incredible opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
For all of us.
It's definitely better than the old competitive playlist. We
can
agree on that.
There's people in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. We agree that it's terrible, right?
Yeah.
Like Recked is like a stressful experience. We both agree there. But like, of course, you can also see my point that it's a huge opportunity, especially for PC players.
Yeah, I was looking for the same opportunity. I just was hoping that it would come much later, after I already had, like I was just gonna easy stomp my way up into like the mid ranks, and then I can worry about getting better. That was the plan.
Yeah. I think that on PC, especially, that you will have to be like in a much like higher percentage of the population to progress like
at all,
which sucks. I think it's a PC specific problem, but it is what it is.
We'll see how it plays out, and they may make adjustments to it too.
Yeah.
So, Linny, you haven't said anything in a while.
I figured I would let you guys play your point and counterpoint. It's hard for me to really weigh in on that because I see both sides. Mm-hmm. It would be really nice if you could rank against people that were actually within your rank, so you can actually see growth and progression. You don't feel like you're just playing for no reason and providing food and fuel for these dudes that are going to stomp you as soon as you see their name. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it is really cool that the rank system does inspire people to get better at the game and to kind of see a little bit of learning in their failure and their losses. So, I mean, it's tough. It's basically like prestige crucible mode at this point. So, I'll be honest, guys, I get smushed at crucible all the time. So I see the learning in the failure after a really long time. So I didn't really have a lot of plans to be a very high rank. I will do it because it's fun and, apparently I like losing, but, and that's kind of one of my problems is I see sides for everything, which is why I'm kind of Bungie's slight defender a little bit.
Yeah.
How much they paying you?
Not enough yet, guys.
So I just want to kind of re-plug this project that we're talking about working on, and see where you're at on this, Huffy. But after you finish your album, if you want to still work on that Crucible YouTube series,
I would love to do that.
We should definitely jump on that right away, because I think, especially with this experience in Ranked being what it is, there's going to be a lot of people looking for that resource on YouTube. So
yeah, I'm totally down to do it. I think that would be great.
And now that we have private matches, we can probably get a lot more useful footage. Which, by the way, let's talk about private matches, guys. I know that it's something we had in Destiny 1. It's mostly the same, but I had a blast with it. I was playing for hours last night in private matches, and being able to like joke and talk around with your opponents and know them and stuff like that. It's just a great experience. It was super fun, honestly.
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, that too is another thing that is like removing from the people who are like searching Ranked actively. I love that experience is there in like stark opposition. Like you can go into private matches and literally just like tomfuckery around. Meanwhile, Ranked is like, what is going on? Mm-hmm. Then there's private matches and stark opposition came out at the same time. I love it. I'm happy it's there.
I would like to see some more customization options added to private matches in the future. Like, right now, there's no way to remove the radar. If you wanted to simulate competitive or trials, it's not a possibility. So that would just be a small thing I'd like to see added, and whatever other customization options they could add to that as well. Like
Yeah.
so. Hopefully
I think it
that's
would be
something to
cool
build
if you
on.
can add some like additional layers on it to where you can create like your own more fun game modes, like reduce everyone to like 1 health or no shields or
Yeah,
like super increased
Yeah.
speed.
like
Or you
Halo,
can do
right?
that would be awesome.
Halo
Yeah, I
custom
agree.
games. Movement speed, just make everybody like super speed
Lightning fast.
heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you change the movement speed stat, like I'm not trying to be negative, but if you change the movement speed stat, like you would sprint at the same rate, but you would walk faster and jump higher.
Yeah.
Just turn it all the way up so your walking is faster than your sprinting.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Well, yeah, so you just never sprint. You're just always ready to shoot, just spinning around like a super fast moving bullet. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and throw them in chat now. I see Michael's asking about the radar being pulled from competitive. Yeah, I think a lot of people like that. Actually, I think in those like really tough games I played in, that was the only thing that made us even stand a chance, is being able to not have the radar and being able
Yeah.
to make a sneaky play. Because in a normal environment, when I play a stacked team like that, the radar just makes this thing happen where if you're not perfectly coordinated, then it's completely impossible to even get a single pick.
Yeah.
So the radar not being there allows for some upsets and some
It
variability.
You literally the stressful part about no radar is at the hot like coming from Xbox, like I'm a noob on PC, but coming from Xbox where I was like playing at the highest level, like it sucked to be on like a team of 4 where like you're the 4 best players in the game and you can't relax for a second because if one of you rotates out like just hanging around, then like Squirrel Muncher 97256 like
Yep.
picks you and then you lose a round and
Yep.
it's like, oh, this trials carry is now going to take 10 more minutes. So it's like frustrating to always have to sweat.
Yeah.
But no radar is just like, it feels more competitive all the time and it allows for
More
learning
interesting gameplay too.
and more interesting gameplay. Yeah.
Because honestly, the whole, like, I've been on both sides. I've played with stacked teams. Like, I don't have a regular team I run with usually, but I've played on stacked teams in trials with the radar before they removed it, and it's honestly just feels weird to me. It's like everything feels so easy. Everybody is just like a sitting duck on the other team if they're not like another top tier team. And this adds like a little bit of a clencher feeling where it's like you need to always be on your toes, and I really like it. I like it a lot better. I don't know if I think trials needs to change. I don't think putting the radar
I would take radar back in trials. Yeah.
I don't know if just putting the radar back in is enough. Like, I think they should change the game modes too. Like, I think there should be unique game modes. But
Literally, trials would be better if they just nixed countdown. If it was just survival, it would be better because
Literally
I mean,
It's
I hate to be
terrible.
the go back to Destiny 1 guy, but just make it 3v3 elimination.
just make it elimination.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take 3v3. It would be like keep us 4v4 for comp.
Yep.
It's a competitive. Let us relax in trials a little. If you're just gonna give us like, I don't know, reskinned weapons that are like baby blue and like a sparrow, like give us 3v3 elimination. Countdown on Emperor's Respite is the worst thing that you've ever done to anyone in a video game. It is fresh hell. Remove Countdown, or at least delete Emperor's Respite from the game.
Mm-hmm. I think Control is probably even worse than Countdown on that map, but yeah.
Control is terrible
Yeah.
on that.
Like,
Control's just not a good time, guys.
I've solo queued against like really good players on that, and if you get the good spawn, you could still beat them because there's just no way. There's just no way to like capture A by yourself. You know, it's crazy. So that map's got to go. I don't know. Like I don't know what they can. I don't know what they can even do to it. Honestly, like it can exist in Clash, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Supremacy's good with it, but I like Supremacy with everything. Cause
Supremacy is good with literally nothing, but it's okay.
Supremacy is good on that map. I would play Survival on that map. If they changed it to a Survival map, I'd play Survival.
Yeah. Supremacy still sucks, but it's alright.
Supremacy's great.
Oh, you said Supremacy is great wrong. No.
I hate Recked, and I hate everything.
Everything. Absolutely everything.
Let me stomp around and talk about how much my life sucks.
You guys are so mean to me. I always have to be the one.
We do it in the most affectionate way possible.
Yeah. But so that's pretty much been my experience this week. I'm super excited for the future. I think you know, if they made this much of a difference in this expansion that I don't think was ever planned to be this much, and like revise so many major systems in the game, then I think September could be huge. It could be really huge for this game.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be big. Also, something I just learned by checking Twitter, I thought that somebody had completed it. It was just one of the top teams quit.
Wow.
They said that they were done with it. I thought they meant they were done. They just were like, no, we have to go back to grinding light. Nobody's beating it. Everyone's been like on the last fight for like hours, and like Goth is on the edge of giving up.
Wow. That would be incredible. If no one can finish it this week, I would say GG, Bungie. That's amazing. Can you imagine?
Everyone's just wiping over and over and over.
Wow. Okay,
it's
guys.
Kind of great.
Look,
we have computers
figure
here.
Out how to get to the damage.
Yeah, the IM team gave up.
Wow. What about Dado? Is he going?
Dado's still doing it.
Yeah, I think he's still grinding at it.
Holy crap.
Man.
That's insane. Everyone's like just level checked. That's nuts. And like they're almost at max level, right? Like a lot of these people. They're in 370s.
Like, they're all like groups of the last fight is at 380.
So let me just brag. Let me just brag a little bit about how I put no effort into trying to do this the first week. Totally worth it.
Right. Like, yeah, everyone's face right now on the directory is. And if you look at the Destiny directory, like all 6 of the top screens, like
they're mean mugging.
You know how they like capture like a random frame?
Yeah.
Like all 6 of the top streams are like the death screen.
Yeah.
They're all like your light is fades away.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
That's lit.
Oh my gosh, that's rough. I love it.
I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, I love it. It might actually be hard.
Yeah. They're getting owned.
Nice. All right. You guys have anything else to talk about?
No, I got to get to a recording session.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks, Lenny, for being here. I'm so sorry I forgot to introduce you at the beginning like an idiot.
That's okay. I mean, they've gathered by now, I'm sure.
Yo, Lenny, Reck, let's play like this week for sure. We should like do some Crucible.
I'm down.
Yes.
I'd love to do that.
Samesies.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody for hanging out. It's been super fun. This has been the 15th episode of GuardianCast.
I thought this was 16.
Yeah, we're going to argue about this again.
316.
I want to just put a call to action out there. We need your guys' help promoting this podcast. I want to get the word out there about it. You know, tell your friends, tell your family members, anybody who you think would enjoy this, who's a fan of Destiny.
Yeah.
I've put it on as many platforms as I possibly can to make it accessible to everybody. We're still waiting to hear back from Spotify. It's been about 2 weeks they've been reviewing it, but it's on Google Play, it's on iTunes, it's on YouTube, it's on Podbean, so you can. And obviously we do it live on Twitch on Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But you know, you can access it anywhere, and we would really appreciate any help you guys can provide.
Yeah, if you help us promote the podcast, I promise to bring back glasses. I'll wear glasses again.
You need to set a goal for that, Huffy. Like, set a view goal.
Little teaser. Yeah. We got a teaser there.
I know you miss it. I know you miss it.
What are you gonna do for our audio only listeners though? They can't see your glasses.
He will describe them in detail.
Yeah, I'm gonna clink them on the microphone.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh! Glasses.
I love it.
All right. Taste.
All right, guys.
About GuardianCast.
Well, this has been GuardianCast episode. I don't remember. 15. Anyway, I'm Recked. You can find me on twitch.tv/Recked, RECKED_UM, and on Twitter at twitter.com/Recked, RECKEDUM.
Me next?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm OHLinny, or OHLinny. You can find me everywhere with OHLinny. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. Actually, I'm kind of a hermit. That's all you can find me on, guys. But hey, hopefully you find it.
Fuck yeah. Is the OHLinny, is it a real O, or is it a number 0?
It is a real O. We don't do zeros or guys.
Fantastic.
No symbols, no numbers. I don't do it.
Let's go. Hi, I'm Huffy. I would plug my Twitch, but more importantly, my new album Coupon comes out on June 1st. You can find
Nice.
You can find it at kellananderson.com, KELLON Anderson.com. Hey.
And is that album gonna be free?
That album is going to be free.
Guys, that album's going to be free.
Free album
is going to be free. And there might just be a Pokemon cover on there, but you'll have to find out.
All right. You sold me. That's it, Happy.
Bye, guys.
Peace.